It's time to face our demons and head to Devil's Cave Vineyard with this 2021 Shiraz from Heathcote. We're here, Victoria, Australia, in a region named for a small township 120 odd kilometres north of Melbourne. It's been recognised as a GI, Geographical Indication, since 2002 and is grouped with Bendigo, Goulburn Valley, Strathbogie Ranges and Upper Goulburn in the central Victoria zone. Heathcote has historically been stereotyped as a home to rich, deep, earthy, full-bodied Shiraz. The association hasn't been entirely harmful. The style exists and is very popular, but it's certainly misleading to cast this region as a one-trick pony. There's more than one pony, and even its most famous pony has a few tricks up its sleeve. This is a red wine heartland for sure. Some 83% of plantings are devoted to black grapes, but the GI is large, about 1,900 square kilometres with a total of just over 1,800 hectares of vines. It extends about 90 kilometres north to south. The green patches here represent vineyards, most running along a narrow strip along the Mount Camel range, beginning just below the township of Heathcote and extending north. 500 million year old Cambrian soils hold the key to this core zone. Finely structured red soil overlying red calcareous sodic clay with weathered copper-infused basalt lending them the unintuitive greenstone moniker. Mind you, the ancient underwater volcanic activity, lifted seabed and varying states of weathering lead to many minor variations on a theme. Down south you're bordering on the cool Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and sparkling territory of Macedon Ranges. In Tubarak, one of my favourite producers here, Syrahmi, grows structured perfume Syrah among the eye-popping granite boulders of its home vineyard. At the extreme north, it's notably warmer and drier. Heathcote's vines sit at elevations between 160 and 320 plus metres, and the climate is temperate and fairly continental. That means cold winters and really warm summers with cool nights. Continentality, altitude and southerly winds funneled up the slopes lock in some freshness as the grapes ripen. The region's rainfall is evenly distributed throughout the year, and it's fairly common for growers not to irrigate, seeking small concentrated grapes for intense wines that seem to convey savoury complexity from their soils. The first vines were planted in the 1850s, but it would be another century before the modern incarnation would start to emerge, beginning in 1955 with Paul Ossiker Wines, one of the greats here, and continuing with the 1978 founding of another leading light, Jasper Hill. At last count there are around 40 wineries and 70 vineyards. Shiraz made up almost half the harvest in 2024, and Cabernet Sauvignon has been here since the early days, but southern French, Spanish and Italian varieties are on the up. Think Grenache, Mourvèdre, Nebbiolo and Sangiovese among the reds, Marsanne, Roussanne, Vermentino and Fiano among whites. In fact, the famous 40-hectare Chalmers vineyard in Colburn supplies numerous wineries and is planted to 27 different varieties. But we're looking firmly at Shiraz from a rising star. The first thing that struck me about this was the lifted perfume of red flowers and berries. Bright, modern, pretty in its upper register, but then darker depths too, blackberry and plum among iron filings, Indian spice and hung meat. On the palate, it's just over medium-bodied, treading an appealing line between fresh, intense fruit and savoury tones. It has strong pull-through and complexity amid a silty mesh of spicy terracotta tannins. You can't help but think of the red dirt, and I imagine that this will age a treat.